Today is the 12th anniversary of the death of the late former president, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. I do know that there was an event today which you were at. Some of the issues that came out from there, a lot of them, I would ask you specifically what today really reminds you of. But before then, the controversy that is coming from there is the words that were uttered by Mercy Araba Ahima Kwashi. She is a sister of the late former president. I want to just play what she said at the 12th commemoration of the former president's passing at the Asomdwe Park today and ask you to comment on that and other issues arising, if you kindly indulge me.
Okay.
This morning, we came to find a very ugly scene. Some people that were brought in by Koku Anyidoho, pretending to be the real relatives of Atta Mills. That is never true. We don't know them from anywhere. And they were here. He has schooled them, telling them that the rest of us, we are paternal brothers and sisters, and they are the real Atta Mills family. It was so disgusting to find an 80-year-old woman pouring libation and hitting her tummy, saying that Fifi Mama won. And I was wondering if she gave birth as a baby to everyone. That had wrong foot. By with our brother's grave, without our knowledge, we are going to deal with him. Because it's a taboo in our family to do that. Whatever that you want to do, and we have to give you our approval. Because you have the much, well, my brother preached Asomdwe. We sometimes agree.
So that's the sister to late former President John Evans Atta Mills, Mercy Araba Ahima Kwashi. The Honorable Nii Lante Vanderpuye, what was that about?
It's a bit sad that we have to talk about this issue, because if there's anything that shouldn't have controversy, it's the memory and the remembrance of our late president, John Evans Atta Mills, a man of integrity, a man of transparency, and a man of honesty. It was so sad. But the truth of the matter is that this government, if they have not damaged the reputation and the image of Professor Mills, then I don't know what else they will have done. You know, last year, or I don't know whether it is early this year, there was a so-called family of Professor Mills which were given the permission and the authority and the mandate and the right access to meet with President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House. And I was shocked that the whole president will entertain a group like that when the president is aware that Professor Mills has living brothers and sisters. In fact, one of them, a member of parliament. And the president's office, the whole presidency, and the whole government will not even call Honorable Sami Atta Mills to find out that these people who are requested to come and see the president, are they truly a representation of your family? They didn't do that and had audience with them. That group was arranged by Koku Anyidoho, who has no relationship, who has nothing to do with the family of ex-president, late president John Evans Atta Mills. Koku only worked with Professor Mills. He's not a family member. He's not an extended or nuclear family member of Professor Mills. Auntie Araba, who spoke, is a direct senior sister of Professor Mills. Cadman is alive. Sami Atta Mills is alive. The son, Kofi Atta Mills, is alive. And people will come and say they are the family of Professor Mills, and they are coming to perform the remembrance. and national security and the whole state apparatus will give them the permission to do that. When for years now, the state has recognized the fact that the NDC and the family have collaborated to organize such situations. In fact, when his memorial heritage was being launched, President Kufuor, even though he was not present, sent a delegation. The presidency sent a delegation. So the presidency cannot say that they are not aware of the existence of the memorial heritage. They are not aware of the annual celebration of Professor Mills' memory by the NDC and the heritage. Because we applied to them and they gave us today from 9 o'clock to 12 to come and perform our right. Apparently, the same state and national security had given Koku Anyidoho and the so-called pretentious family 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock to also come and do their own remembrance service. So when we got there, they were there. We were waiting for them to finish their program. We have been given 9 o'clock to 12. Exactly at 9, we decided to start our program. They were seated and they had their canopies and they have their things there. So we asked them to move their things so that we can start our program. He, Koku himself, had absconded. He wasn't there. And he subjected these people who ignorantly have been brought there to public ridicule. I felt bad for them. I felt bad for the people who have been brought in, some chiefs, some opinion leaders, some school children, some cultural groups who have been brought there by Koku Anyidoho. And what was sad, Morosanda, was the fact that there was this woman who herself is 80 years, saying that Professor Mills was her son. Meanwhile, Professor Mills was 80 3 days today. And you are 80, you are saying Professor Mills was your son. And the brothers and the sisters who were sitting there do not know you. You see, what we should understand is that, Moro, you and I all agree, even though in Ghana we value the extended family system, there is always the immediate family or the nuclear family. So, as to dispute about whose family or who has right to somebody, it cannot be questioned because there's always the first point of call is the immediate or the nuclear family before you go to the extended family. So what happened was just uncalled for, unwarranted, unnecessary, and unexpected. But I'll put all at the doorstep of the government, which is allowing this buffoon of a guy called Koku Anyidoho.
You shouldn't use that word on someone you worked with when you were both working for former President and late President Mills. Former
President Mills hate people who behave that way and has always called them buffoons. So that's how I'm using it. President Mills, people who behave the way Koku is behaving, are always referred to by President Mills as buffoons.
Yes,
and
but
Koku knows it. That's why I'm using it for him.
Yeah, but
it's a perfect example of the people President Mills will have called buffoons.
No, but you are not President Mills, and I don't think you should use that to describe
I'm a son of President Mills.
Yeah, but if Koku calls in and calls you,
him.
Yeah, but if Koku calls you a buffoon, I would ask him to retract. So I would also ask you to retract. But I don't think that would be an appropriate use of the word against someone you once worked with.
Anyone who behaves in that way, people who engage in buffoonery are referred to as buffoons. It's not an insult. The way he's behaving, he's playing the buffoonery.
How did you get here? He was someone who was so close to you.
I brought him to President Mills.
Yeah, so then how...
I brought Koku to President Mills.
How is such a person now all of a sudden engaging
in the
manner you're saying?
It is only his arrogance and ego that is allowing Koku to stay and do the things he's doing. His arrogance and ego. He doesn't have that humility that is supposed to be exhibited by anybody who worked under President Mills. And he's forgotten the many times he did these things, and some of us have to plead for him under President Mills. He's not learning his lessons. Koku is not trying to grow up. He doesn't want to. You see, his hatred for President Mahama is making him sick and insane. That's his hatred for President Mahama.
The people
all this is doing is nothing. It's about his hatred for President Mahama and nothing else. All that he tried to do today was to do something to disrupt the program. He knew President Mahama and the NDC, the National Executive, were going to be present. Koku has an innate bitterness against President Mahama and our National Chairman, Seydou Nketia. And I don't know what they've done to him. I don't know what they have done to him. If there is anybody Koku should be grateful to, it's President Mahama. Because I know what he has done for Koku. I will not say it in public, but I know what he has done for Koku, Anyidoho. If there is anybody who should be grateful to the NDC, it is Koku. Because but for the NDC, Koku was nobody. Koku should be grateful and always pray for the NDC. Koku should be grateful to President Mahama. Every day of his life, every minute, every second, every hour of his life, he must pray for President Mahama and the NDC. Because but for President Mahama and the NDC, Koku would not have been known by anybody. I respect this family. I respect General Anyidoho and all his siblings. But Koku, sometimes, I don't know. I wish that Koku will know that, look, what he's doing is affecting the image and the name and the integrity of somebody like his father, General Anyidoho. Because his father is well respected. And I know what he's doing is not endorsed by any member of his family. Because some of us have been talking to them, some of them well respect them. They call us, sometimes they beg with us, they plead with us, just not to respond to some of the nonsense he's doing.
You're using very strong words. You sound very angry.
Yes. It's getting to a time when we need to tell Koku that his buffoonery, we've had enough of it. We've reached our tolerance level for his buffoonery.
He makes a claim that as a party, you abandoned
he is
the
not a member of the party. Koku is not a member of the party.
He says
he's
that
not the one to talk for the party.
He was once
not a member of the Atta Mills family. He's not the one to talk for the Atta Mills family.
He was once your deputy general secretary.
He was only a staff.
He was once your deputy general secretary. He says that you all invaded the Asundwe Park today because it's an election year. Suddenly you remember Atta Mills, but you have neglected his place for all these years, and that he even has been the one who has been taking care of the place. He says that in various interviews and also Twitter posts.
Moro, let me tell you this. When Koku speaks like this, excuse my language, a kindergarten boy will not speak like that. Moro, listen to me. Every year the NDC performs this function. Just last Friday, we had a wonderful memorial lecture, commemorative lecture. Look, for the past years, the J.A. Mills Memorial Heritage has kept the memory and the immortalization of President Mills alive. The National Security, the Minister, the Office of the President have always collaborated with us to keep this celebration. So what is he talking about? We don't have the power to take care of the Asundwe Park. It's national security's responsibility. So how do you expect the NDC to always come, clean the place, wash the place, weed the place? Is that what he calls keeping the memory of the Mills? Is that what he's talking about? What is he talking about? If there is anything we want to do to immortalize the memory of the Mills, is to be decent, respectful, humble, and also be caring enough for the sentiments of the people who President Mills so much cherish, his family, the NDC, and the people of Ghana. These things are lost to him, and that's why I can never accept him associating himself with the name Professor Mills in any way.
The people he went to the place with this morning, they claim to be Atta Mills' family. Could it be that perhaps they are from his maternal family? Is that possible?
Moro Sanda, who should tell you, Moro, sitting there, who your family is?
Family members?
Do you need Koku and Anyidoho to come and tell you who your family members are? Do you need Koku and Anyidoho to tell Sami Atta Mills Kofi Atta Mills, Kadma Atta Mills, Mrs. Kwashi, who their family members are. Between Koku and those ones, who should be able to indicate to you and I who their family members are? What right has Koku got to tell Kadman who his family members are? Is it Koku who will tell Kadman, Dr. Kadman Atta Mills, who his family members are? If you should listen to Auntie Araba, she mentioned their family, their roots. She mentioned their roots. Even mentioned the Nyandenchra. Mentioned Anabing, Kumfin Anabing, and mentioned Cape Coast. So we are not talking about people who don't know where they come from, who don't know their roots. Koku should spare us this nonsense. He is tarnishing the name and the image of Professor Mills. And enough is enough. Some of us, I'm always being insulted in the ANC that I'm the one who brought him. I'm being insulted every day. Today, every Safi Yanka pointed finger at me that all this is you. We hold you blamable.
You regret bringing
responsible.
You regret bringing him to the NDC fold?
I don't, because let me say this: the quality I saw in Koku, which made me recommend him, I will not shy away from that. He's a brilliant boy, but I think Koku, something is going wrong with him. He's not channeling that brilliance, that knowledge, that intelligence he has for a good reason. He has a lot of hatred, bitterness to overwhelm that level of intelligence and the potential some of us saw in him. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's like somebody who has that energy that all of us want to admire, but he channels that energy and for a wrong purpose and a wrong cause. And he needs redemption. He needs deliverance. He needs a revival.
Let's leave it here. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you. God bless you. And forever we shall continue to, remember John Evans Atta Mills. And so now let me take the opportunity to tell you, Saturday, we are having the John Evans Atta Mills Memorial Hockey Tournament at the Theodosia Oko pitch. And I wish you'll be there so that we can all, the hockey fraternity, together with us, will celebrate Professor Mills. He was a very good hockey player. He loved hockey. And the hockey pitch, as I said today, was actually done during his tenure. And I think it will be good. The hockey people have always, for years now, have continually remembered him with a tournament. And I say commendation to the Hockey Association, lawyer Bram Labi, his son Kofi Atta Mills, and all those who always organize the tournament. I salute them.
Thank you for speaking to us. That's the Honorable Nii Lante Vanderpuye.